Hi, everybody. My name's Xander. I previously worked at Tesla as a Tesla advisor, also known as an owner advisor. So if you picked up your car from Decatur, Georgia in 2020 or 2021, comment down below. How's the experience going? I'm going to talk in more detail about my experience as an advisor in other videos, so subscribe if you want to see that. But today, I'm going to talk specifically about how Tesla is using Optimus robots inside their stores to drive sales and build their brand. I'm going to show you historical examples of companies like Apple doing something similar to help drive sales and build their brand. I'm also going to talk about why it makes sense for Tesla to put Optimus inside of their showrooms, but it wouldn't make sense for Toyota to try to do the same. In later videos, I'm going to cover which advisor tasks I think Optimus could start doing the soonest, and then I'm going to do some math on how much money Tesla could save by replacing advisors with Optimus. All right, so everybody's probably seen by now the reports that Tesla has Optimus robots in China. That's where they first came out. Obviously, it's drawing large crowds, and then same with Manhattan. And what's interesting is Apple actually has a store in Manhattan where they did something similar. They patented a glass staircase, put it on display in their Manhattan showroom, and it was a way to attract people to the store. And in general, they saw that they had a hard time getting people to the second story of their stores. And so they kind of came up with the idea well, what if you made it like an experience to go up to the second story? So there are some parallels here. Both are ways to build the brand by just making the store visit an experience, but also it has to be more than just that. You can't just put something cool in your store. It has to tie to your brand specifically and the products that you're selling. So in Apple's case, the glass staircase fell in line with Apple's brand of minimalism, innovation. It was a wow factor. And they were positioning themselves as the cool, futuristic, minimalist, company in the phone industry. And at the time, there weren't really any cool, futuristic phone companies, or at least everybody was sort of trying to pivot in that direction. But Apple really stood out because they did things like this. Also, the use of glass was pretty smart because they were coming out with phones with touchscreens, and there was a lot of concern around, the strength of the glass, would it hold up? And so, they put on display that, hey, we can have hundreds of people, thousands of people go through the store, walk on the glass each day. So that gave, customers a little bit of comfort in knowing that their glass is going to be strong. So back to Tesla's Optimus robot in the showroom, it's more than just a robot sitting there. It's a symbol of Tesla's brand. It's a symbol of their risk-taking. It's a symbol of how futuristic the brand is. But what's really important here is that the Optimus robot shares the same intelligence system as the car. It shares the vision system, and it shares some of the computer hardware. And that's really important because Tesla isn't the only car company that has a robot division. Toyota has a large suite of robots. So if you didn't know, Toyota has been working on robots for a long time. They're a Japanese company. Japan is where kind of the robotics industry is the strongest, where there's the most kind of work going on in the robotics industry. As you can see, Toyota has a bunch of different robots. So they've got, this one on the left is, doing household chores. It's on wheels. It has 2 arms. This middle one, this is kind of showcasing the kind of like bubble hands that they have, so they can have better dexterity and touch. And then they've got ones like this one on the right that's hung from the ceiling. So they have a lot of different form factors. They have a lot of different robots. But what's different is these robots don't share any of the same hardware or software that their cars share. And so it wouldn't make sense for Toyota to put these inside of their stores. It's also worth noting the difference in strategy between Toyota and Tesla as it relates to robots and vehicles. And so Tesla's approach to vehicles production is to have fewer form factors, but to perfect those form factors. Toyota's approach is to have as many models as possible. Same with all the other automakers. Go back to Apple. Apple is focused, again, on one form factor or a few form factors, right? And their focus is on the software and the ecosystem. Toyota's robot strategy is to have a lot of form factors. They're not that strong on their software. They were built in a time before, machine learning was really, developed in a good state, and that might be the reason why they didn't lean so heavily on it. But Tesla's approach is, again, with Optimus, they want a single form factor. Maybe they'll have a few form factors, but right now they're focusing on one form factor, and their focus is going to be on leveraging the data that they have from their vehicles to basically have the robot be able to do a lot of generalized tasks. So back to the showroom. I used to work in a Tesla showroom. Like I said, I was a Tesla advisor, and the Tesla experience is a great experience. It's really all about just getting people in the vehicle, let them experience the product, and the product speaks for itself. It sells itself. So Tesla doesn't have a huge need to draw a lot more excitement for the experience, but it doesn't hurt to have Optimus in there. In fact, I think it's going to help. If any kids are at the showroom with their parents, I mean, they're going to go crazy over Optimus. And that really just elevates the whole experience for the whole family that's there shopping. They're not going to get that experience at a car dealership or something like that. And so the way I would envision this is if I was at a showroom and Optimus was in there, and even if it's completely turned off like it is today, it's just a display unit. People come in, they start talking about Optimus, they'll have questions. Naturally the conversation would start to turn into, well, how does it see? Or what does this have to do with the car? Or I could just transition the conversation into, yeah, it uses the same vision system that we use in our cars. And so that gets a conversation into enhanced autopilot, which is really one of the best selling features of the car. The car is fun. It's got all these, games and everything. But really, as a Tesla owner, it's really great to have driver assistance systems. And so then the conversation talked about enhanced autopilot, full self-driving. And I really think that this could help increase the take rate on full self-driving and enhanced autopilot, which is Tesla's largest contributor to profitability. Go back to the Toyota analogy. If Toyota put a robot in their store, there wouldn't be a natural talk track to talk about how the robot has to do with the car in any way. It would be cool. It might elevate the experience a little bit. But this brings me to another point, is that even if Toyota knew that they could do this and it would elevate the experience, they've got a significant disadvantage, and that is that they don't have ownership of their stores. They rely on third-party dealers to sell their cars. So back to the Apple analogy, it wouldn't have made sense for a competitor of Apple's like Motorola to put the glass staircase in their stores, because Motorola wasn't futuristic. They weren't pushing forward for a glass screen, a touch screen. And so instead of that, Motorola came out with the Moto Maker. This was like a website where you could go and you could customize your phone in a million different ways. And they also had, so just to kind of give you an example here, you've got a wood grain material, you've got leather, you've got plastics in all different colors, and you can customize it in whichever way you want. Whereas Apple's strategy is, look, we've already made all these decisions for you, and we're going to showcase why these decisions are the best through an interactive store experience. Well, Motorola didn't even really have stores. They had some pop-ups. They put their kiosk inside of Best Buy. So you would either go online and you would do this, or you would go into a Best Buy store. So there's no real, even chance for Motorola to elevate an experience. Motorola wasn't in the experience business. They were in the phone business. Tesla is in the experience business. Apple is in the experience business. Elon Musk has said many times, he's just looking to build the most fun thing he can, on four wheels. So let's look at the websites. This is Motorola's website. They've got a phone and they've got headphones, but it's not even their headphones. They're Bose headphones. So there's no ecosystem here. There's no experience. You're just buying the phone, right? Whereas Apple's got the phone. They've got the MacBook, they've got Vision Pro, they've got the watch, and then they've got the card, the Apple Card. It's and then they have Apple TV. So they have the full ecosystem. They own the whole customer experience. Everything is on brand. Let's look at Toyota. Toyota is just a car company. They're just selling cars. That's all that you're really looking at. You know, cars and service for cars. Tesla has cars, but up here at the top, you see they've got solar roof, solar panels, Powerwall, and as those become larger parts of the business, Tesla's going to be able to showcase them more. Based on your location, Tesla might, be advertising solar for you. Also, it's very easy to click down here and, click demo drive. And it'll take you to, whichever vehicle you want, your time, location. So it knows the closest Tesla dealership to me, or Tesla showroom. And so another thing that Tesla has a huge advantage of by owning the whole ecosystem and the whole experience is collecting data. So what Tesla's likely doing right now is they're looking at foot traffic in the Manhattan store. They're looking at the order rates, and they're looking at the full self-driving and enhanced autopilot take rates. If they see that start to increase at that Manhattan store in relation to its historical performance and considering the performance of similar stores in similar areas, they can compare and see if they want to put Optimus in every store. And I've seen a lot of analysis on how much Optimus might cost to build. Of course, we're in low volume. At high volume production, we might be looking at, $10,000 a unit, but let's say it's even $30,000 a unit, the cost to basically make a car. If Optimus leads to 2 more people purchasing full self-driving, then it pays for itself. And in a full year, it might lead to 10 more people, 50 more people, 100 more people purchasing full self-driving. So I think it's a great thing to add to the store. As an advisor, I would like to have Optimus in the store. I think it could help with employee retention. It makes everybody feel like Tesla is futuristic. Now, the question is it going to be able to replace owner advisors? I think that there's a lot of things that Optimus can do, starting soon that, advisors do. So answering questions about the company, directing you. Hey, are you here for delivery? Okay, you're, over the delivery is over there. Take a seat. Somebody will be with you. Are you here for service? Service is down the stairs. Or you're here for a test drive. Okay, great. What's your last name? Okay, you're going to be in this vehicle. Here's the key. So I'm going to go into more detail about all the specific things that you would do as a Tesla advisor in a future video. And I'm going to go over what Optimus can do out of all those things. And then I'm going to look at the financial impact of if Optimus could replace advisors, because advisors make up a huge portion of Tesla's employee workforce, a lot more than people think. There's 1,000 stores in the US. And so that's globally, there's about 1,000 Tesla stores. And if each one has 10 advisors, that's 10,000 employees. That's almost 10% of Tesla's workforce. So I'm going to go into a little more detail about that in a future video, but I just wanted to get this out. This is kind of my first real video. So please subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video.